Okay, a little shorter today. Got had some lightning, so we had to go inside and we got some work done. We were in shorts, but it's a little limited in there space wise, but they still got some good work in. Trying to get cranked up for the Saturday scrimmage.
So Rich, we're going to talk to Rhett in a little bit, I think. Just your thought of the progress of the quarterbacks over camp, and then maybe give us an individual look at how some of those guys are doing.
Yeah, I think they've all progressed. It's really been quite a task to get so many guys, so many reps. I think, and we do get a lot of reps in practice, so I'm not concerned that they're getting enough. But we're trying to be fair to all of them, and it's still a pretty good battle, I think, in a good way. I think there's the scrimmages probably mean a little bit more as far as that goes, and we got the Saturday scrimmage and then kind of a half scrimmage next week as well. And you could tell the guys that have played a little bit, like Nico and Jalen, they've got some experience, and that's helped them a little bit. Max has got some experience, so you can see that a little bit. But Scotty Fox and Khalil are really talented guys and have a good grasp as well. So I don't know if we'll sit down. Like I said, as a staff after Saturday. Sunday's kind of a slower day. It's just pitcher day, and really talk about where we're at with those guys in other positions, because we really haven't. I haven't had a sit down with the staff since camp started as far as who's what, where in each position. I told everybody get reps, which they're doing, and at the end of when we have 2 weeks to go before the first game, we'll have a sit down and talk about it.
When you're deciding who plays, who doesn't, is practice data a big thing? Hey, he completed 70% of passes. How do you use?
Yeah, not data. I'm not a data guy as much. I mean, because sometimes it's not the quarterback's fault. Sometimes it is, but I don't know. Rhett might be keeping stats because he's a stats guy. He's a lot more thorough than I am. So he might be keeping it, which it is. I think all that stuff's important. So we'll look all of it. But, you could pretty much tell this guy's, when he had a good practice or he had a poor practice. And I think they've all, I'm not just saying it because just trying to be Mr. Positive here, but they've all progressed pretty well. And that's a good thing. Now, Saturday and next week, I probably got to put a little bit more, I don't want to say pressure on them, but put them in difficult situations and see how they respond to it. So, and they're getting a lot of more difficult stuff now because we're not limiting what our defense is doing. I mean, our defense is throwing everything at them. So typically you'd have, you might script what you're going to do against each other, and so we're not scripting that. So that, I think that they have to accelerate their growth, if that makes sense.
Is that pretty typical for a quarterback room, or is that unique to this room?
What's that?
The way they're progressing.
No, hell, if they're not, I mean, they're wondering about who's coaching, right? You think they'd all get better. Yeah. But I think, sometimes you could tell when a guy has some experience, has been in a game. And then you also could tell some of the young guys that, boy, they've really grasped it. And our guys, got a pretty good, they've all been coached pretty good. They're getting coached, I think, well now. And I probably need to, and they have been live. They were live yesterday. They were live Saturday. They'll be live again this Saturday. And we're doing that, I think, as I told you all, just to try to see if somebody separates. If they don't separate and they're all in a good way, that's a good thing. I'm not worried about it. That's, everybody wants.
I'm sorry. What impacts you more, the killer play, or the potential for a great play when you're thinking about that?
Well, that's a good question. I think there's, like sometimes you say, oh, you got to take a shot, and there are times that you want to take a shot, but it's got to be a smart thing, and you also, for us, when we get 25 first downs in a game, we're controlling the tempo, and we usually win. So if you just take deep shots, you got long incompletions. You can't run tempo, and it's obviously, harder to get first downs on 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10. So you got to be calculated when you do it, and it can't be just throw deep just to throw deep. It's got to. Our thing is we don't talk about shot plays as much as most people. We talk about first downs and moving the ball.
So it's avoiding the bad plays.
Yeah, that's always the key.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's also times like, you got to take a shot. Well, if they're bringing everybody and it's a legitimate chance for it, but you don't just throw it up just to throw it up, and then you have a long incompletion, and now it's 2nd 10 or 3rd and 10. You know what I mean? I've always believed that when you got the ball, they're not scoring. Unless you make something like really not good, fumble or turnover, right? And we're controlling the clock when we got the ball.
Kind of similar to that question, where does your ranking, I guess, when you're determining who's eventually going to start on who takes better care of the football versus who maybe gives you a higher ceiling? Is that a thought?
And I don't blame. Listen,
maybe he's more careless with the football in some places.
Listen, I don't blame everybody to want to know, like, it's human nature, like who's the guy or the guys. I mean that's human nature, but I don't think in those terms. I'm not wake up every day. It's like, what's this guy at? Where's this guy at? I'm like, how are we doing? I'm like, how are we moving the ball? How are we stopping the run? How are we effective in the pass game? How are we? Not how is he? He is part of the we, but it's always part of the we. In football, it truly takes it. So sometimes it's the O-line as a group that's got my attention. Sometimes it's the receivers. Like, I don't wake up and think, well, let's see what the quarterback's feeling here and what he's doing on this play and what this quarterback's doing on this play. And I'm like, there's 11 guys. One of them's a quarterback. Let's see how they move the ball.
You talk about sorting out some of who's going to be in what position,
Here we go.
getting some symbols of the
Yes.
depth chart. I know, and
You
I don't
just
care
have-
about when you name it.
Will you just, go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt, but are you asking about an individual again?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
okay. Go ahead.
More so, when do you prefer to have that depth chart mostly completed in your head over the next couple weeks, even if you're not going to release it?
What time's kickoff, Robert Morris? I'm not big. I'm like, seriously, what is it? 2 o'clock. We better have our, unless they let us play with 12, we better have our first 11 offense, defense, special team. We better have it right by then, right? And I'll tell the coaches, probably need to know the day before us. We better really know. And I really hope that if we only have 11 that we can win with on both sides, we're going to have a long year. We better have, at least 15 or 16 and hopefully 25 and 25 and on both sides and with special teams. We bet. I'm hoping we'll have that. But
You're not worried about letting those decisions come down to those last couple days.
I don't care if it comes down to opening kickoff. And I'm not saying that to be a smart aleck. I'm just because and the reason I say that is because the way we practice maybe is unconventional. Whereas everybody scripts, this is one group, number ones, and they go against, these are the number twos, and that's who they are. I mean, we roll dudes, we're exchanging not as fast as a hockey shift, because we're not doing it in the middle of a play, but as fast as you could do it in a football shift. You follow what I'm saying? So my goal was everybody's engaged in practice and everybody's got an opportunity, and you never know when your number's going to be called. So that's what the most egregious penalty, and I've had some before, and it really is not a good day, is like when you don't have 11. When you got 12 or 10, there's no excuse for that. And so if we ever have that, I will lose my mind. Call the paramedics. I'm probably have a heart attack or something. But to your point, that's what I'm saying. I don't really, hey, this guy's got to be in when this guy's in here, and this guy's got to play with this guy in here, or this quarterback's in, then we got to have this wide out in. Nope. No, they all got to run all the stuff.
The last
philosophy of playing more players, has that changed?
What's that?
Has that changed for you?
What's
the
that?
philosophy of playing more players?
No. Well, shoot. I don't know how many years I've been doing it. 28 years as a head coach. It's always the one thing that I do know with all the changes that are going on and paying players and NIL and all the stuff it's kind of transformed a little bit. The one thing that's a constant, they all want to play. You know what I mean? That's common sense. I know that, but that's truly the truth. I mean, every player and every team, you know, they'll work hard in practice, but the goal is, you say the goal is to make money, or, you know, what I really think the goal for them is to play and to play really well, and then the other stuff comes extras. And to our guys' credit, I don't think, there might be some that, hey, you know, if I wind up starting, how can you make this money or what have you? I don't think, I mean, anywhere, I think most of the guys that play in any sport anywhere do it because they love playing. And I truly want to play a lot of guys, but they've got to earn that.
You were talking about shot plays a little while ago.
Yeah.
Do you call shot plays on the ground too? Like most people think of shot plays going through there, but in your offense, are there shot plays on the ground?
Well, you hope so, right? But I mean, there's got a lot of things got to happen for that. I mean, for that to happen. I mean, you know, I'm talking about this. When you call that play, you're like, it's probably a touchdown or nothing. You know what I mean? And everybody has those. And our quarterbacks can throw the deep ball, which I know I mentioned yesterday. They can make, I think all of our guys can make all the throws. But being accurate is obviously, you know, I think one of the most important traits for a quarterback, you know, and being accurate. You know, I don't worry about if a guy can knock somebody down with a pass 30 yards down the field. Can he throw it on time, and can he be accurate? And is he throwing it to the right person? That's more important than the arm strength.
It's been a while. You've had a couple running backs get back in the field in practice. I don't know if you're still thinking about the portal, but do you feel better? Do you see more things now that you actually have some healthy bodies?
Yeah, we're getting guys healthier. I think we had the most running backs today this practice since camp started. There's maybe 5 or so. That's, you know, we're getting there, and that's the one position where you do normally play more people. Now, if the one guy's in there and he's got a hot hand, and, you know, I won't take him out just to take him out, but throughout the course of the year, you better have 2 or 3.
If you, just in general, if you are looking for players that are available to help you out, what are the hurdles that are maybe different from the normal transfer period? Like, are guys in shape? Do they really want to play this season? Is that new, not to say challenges, but you're not thinking that way in January or April?
Yeah, if you're picking somebody up now, you hope they've been training all summer because you haven't had a chance to see them. And you could get here and get in shape, but it is, you know, the difference now is all these guys, not just here but everywhere else, has been with our strength staff in the summer. Our strength staff does a great job, and they've had, you know, whatever it is, 10 or 12 practices, pretty good pace. You know, practices should help give them the shape too. So, but there's probably still a couple guys out there, but most, I mean, not right now. That's pretty rare to find guys.
Rich, as of this morning, one of the running backs doesn't appear on the roster anymore.
Who's that?
The SMU transfer, Jalen.
Yeah,
Is there any
unfortunately.
update on that, or what happened
Yeah,
there?
Jalen, he had as an academic issue with one class, and it does not look like he's going to be eligible, which is a shame because he was working hard.
Not expecting to have him.
Yeah, don't expect to have him, and we really liked him. I thought he was a good player, and it's just that one issue came up, which is kind of a little bit of a surprise to everybody. So, yeah, he won't be playing this year.
Can you today run a running back like you did Avon? And by that I mean 30 times.
Yeah, it takes that guy has to be a special guy. Like Avon was great condition, and I've had, like, you know, Stevie was the same way. Trey Stewart last year, I think he had 28, 30 carries in the game or something, and ran as hard on the 28th as he did on the first one. I've had quarterbacks that run it that many times and can do it. It takes a special guy that can do that, and I don't know. Some of our guys can probably do that, but our pace is probably even faster now. So I love Avon. He could do it, but he would probably tell you today, he was like, I probably would get a break here and there once in a while with this kind of pace. But he's, those all the running backs will tell you too that if they're getting hot, they want to stay in. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. You want the running back not to have somebody come in for him after a long run or something like that.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Coach.